Hello. I was on the laptop listening to one of Bill Cooper's shows. I was listening to this one, The Order Religion of Heavens. And it was about this time that he spends this whole show reading from a book on the mystery teachings. And whatever he was reading from sounded very familiar. Sounded like some of the books that I've read. I made a couple videos on some of our Swinburne Clymer's writings. So I wanted to really find what he was reading because he did not tell the audience of his show what he was reading from. So, but it sounded very familiar, like a book I might have. But voila, I found this, and the chapter that he was reading from was the very last chapter. It's this book right here. Now, do you remember I did an earlier show where I was showing, it was on one of Bill Cooper's Mystery Babylon series regarding the Rose Cross College. It was called the Rose Cross College Part 3. And he was reading from the teachings of the masters, the wisdom of the ages. And he was reading, the title page of that book is very similar to this title page. And he was reading off this, and I pointed out that in the video, when he got up to here, he just started falsely adding in like Crowley's OTO, the Order of the Golden Dawn, Knights of Malta, obviously trying to, give the audience the idea that, this guy is the supreme head of, every secret society, and they're all in one accord, run by a head, whatever. That's what I'm going to assume that he had in mind, because obviously no OTO here. Interesting thing about Clymer is he did do a book on the Rosicrucian order where he was exposing, or at least read on written paper. I'm not a fan of Clymer or trying to stick up for him too much. I'm just trying to say that, obviously Cooper was using deceit when he read along on the air, and I was exposing that. But he did write a book on the Rosicrucian order that you can find on archive.org. You can read it yourself, where Clymer was not a big fan of Aleister Crowley, or at least he said. And he said he wasn't for, like black magic or the Theosophical Society even. He was talking about, Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. And, interesting thing about Clymer, you'll find in the secret societies anyways, is that there tend to be like two factions, right? Just like the two checkerboard, white, black, the duality kind of concept, where you do have two two opposing beliefs in the mystery system. You have white magic, black magic, white orders. But this is this show right here, he was reading from this chapter that I found. And he goes to read like towards the end of it. Right here. Oops. Right, yeah, he reads like right here on Leo the Lion. It's all this esoteric stuff on, that all the religions, including Christianity, come from the ancient mysteries. But anyways, he reads this part. He gets to right here. He says this, I would like to play it, but that's why I have the time on it. You can check this out yourself if you don't really believe me, but go to hourthetime.com, and it's got a link on William Cooper that you can go to. I'll go back just to show you. Yep, you go to their homepage and click on this, and then you go down here, or you could just check it out on YouTube as well. There's a video on YouTube right here. I guess I could have just showed you that. Yeah, and at 56:05, after he reads, like right here, I'll just quote him because I wrote it down, because I think it's really important that people understand, what exactly he was really teaching in his Mystery Babylon Indoctrination shows. Sorry. Okay, he's quoted as saying that Clymer's the book that he was reading from, that he didn't tell the audience that he was reading from, because again, I think that would have exposed the fact, that kind of would have put a little hole in his narrative, right? Because he wanted to show that, this guy right here, Clymer, was, a globalist, a socialist. Obviously, I'm not going to say he was or wasn't, but according to his writings, which I will go through in later videos, it shows that he was a nationalist, or he proclaimed to be a nationalist in line with the Founding Fathers. But anyways, he said that his teachings that he was reading from this chapter of this book were the original mystery religion before it was infiltrated by those who obeyed the teachings of the serpent. Who obeyed the teachings of the serpent, until it was perverted, twisted, and used to control and manipulate and enslave. That's interesting, because you'll find, since Trump got in, and Alex Jones has even said that, where the secret societies were good in the beginning, but they later got corrupted. You'll find Clymer write that, and say that. And you'll find, isn't it interesting that some of the Brotherhood has sided with the Truth Movement? You got Leo Zagami, you can look him up. You have the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, who supposedly exposes the globalists. You have the white magic versus black magic, and the left versus right kind of BS they're kind of playing us with. And I think that the Truth Movement, honestly, I think it's pretty well possible that Cooper or his family came out of this exact brotherhood. This brotherhood right here. Right here, our founding fathers, like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Thomas Paine, I believe Benjamin Franklin. You can go to their website, sol.org. Abraham Lincoln were members of this order. Clymer was related, great-great-great-grandfather, whatever, great-great-great-great, whatever, was George Clymer, who is one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. And anyways, he also authored the book The Age of Treason. He's one of the early truthers. So wouldn't it just make sense? I mean, if they were leading the Patriot movement back in the revolutionary days, wouldn't they lead the Patriot movements of today? Got more to show, but I just wanted to show you that. Thank you.